Hey everybody, happy Saturday. Hope you're well. Didn't get to do my video outside today because I just can't bear the cold at the moment, so I'm cozy inside. Thought I'd share today about my take on a spiritual awakening, and when I say my take on it, there's a lot of different information out there on what a spiritual awakening is, and it's not always that you have to be spiritual, like practicing spiritual things in order to have an awakening. It's really it's about our states of awareness, which is our states of consciousness. So when you hear about waking up, how woke are we? Well, it's quite hard to measure actually, because it's a very individual journey. So when we're waking up, which is part of our spiritual ascension, we are becoming incredibly aware of us and ourselves. And really the true depth of a spiritual journey is about doing your inner work, your trauma work, your inner child work, your healing work, anything that is not of you, that's in the way of you because of what you've been through. So we are all a product of what we've been through, but we are not our behaviors. So when we look at it like that, we look at how we're interacting with people, how we're interacting with the world, and where am I going wrong? Where am I the problem? Where is it me? And so it takes a lot of courage to do a spiritual journey and spiritual work, because it is all the journey inward, not outward. It's actually, who am I? Because every time you work through who you're not, every time you work through limiting beliefs, limiting behaviors, understanding where they've come from in your life, that is a spiritual journey. So you don't have to be in a church, you don't have to be on a yoga mat, you don't have to be meditating to be spiritual and on your journey, although all of these aspects can help and facilitate and accelerate and be a nice place to be in the quiet, in the still, to be able to focus and concentrate and work through your pain body. When we're waking up and spiritually evolving, we're moving through what's called 3D, 4D, 5D, you can easily go up to 12D, and it's levels of dimensional awareness, and it is the consciousness that we're at. And we become more conscious, more present, more aware of everything that we are, the part we're playing in this world, what's going on in this world at a deeper level, the more that we remove all the blockages within us. So we have many ego filters, lots of them, very individual, as to how we see the world. So if we're coming from a place of fear, a place of trauma, a place of unhealed wounds, a place of anger, a place of resentments, a fear of lack mentality, we're in survival because of what we've been through, those are the eyes we're going to experience everything through. So it's almost like everything's tainted and distorted. When we've worked through all that, we have a very clear vision of what's going on out there, and this is how we elevate our vibration through the dimensions and become more conscious, more awake, whatever you'd like to call it. It's a very personal experience. And if you think about how we're seeing things, it means that when we do our work, our spiritual journey, our spiritual ascension, moving up the dimensional frequencies, everything we've experienced, we can look back at it and see it in a different way. Now, that is not always easy. It may mean that we might have to take some accountability rather than blame. It might be that we realise we've played a part in dysfunction more than we realise. We've kind of, it's everybody out there, not me type mentality. And it does mean the shadow work, which is having to really take responsibility for self. Responsibility for, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily our fault what we've been through, but it means that we are now taking responsibility for what we do with it, how we heal it, and how we allow it to direct our path. And really, that's what spiritual awakening is. I mean, we can have spontaneous spiritual awakenings through doing none of that. We wake up one day and suddenly we see the world differently because, you know, our soul has decided it's going to mature at that point. Just like the body matures yearly, the soul can have a sudden growth spurt, whether you like it or not. And then it's chaos, because maybe the world that you've created, everything you're living, is not the life you're meant to be living. You know, I was in the fitness industry for 20 years, and for a long time in that I was thinking something's not feeling right anymore. That was my human path. I hadn't evolved enough in myself to realize that wasn't my true path, but it was a huge path of getting me to where I am now, which is far more a soul path, still doing human things, but a very different perspective, and very deep, big deep dives. It's very rewarding spiritual awakenings that, yes, like I said, they can be spontaneous, but you can induce them as well, but they are for your highest good, because they will be making you work through all the layers of what you're not. So it's like your natural blueprint of who you should be, without all this stuff that's happened to you, around you, that you've carried with you. And it gives you your best life. It gives you you and your true authenticity, because you are your true, genuine self when you remove all of that stuff. And it can be a very joyous journey as well. So you kind of owe it to yourself, and we're all waiting to meet you as you are, not maybe having to do what you think you have to do and be like everybody else because it's a safety net. That isn't always safe. We need our individualism, all of us, to make a big turnaround in this world and to help heal each other and self. So find that courage and enjoy your spiritual awakening. Have a lovely weekend.